You said I think you said during the debate last week that a constitutionalist, and you're a lawyer in the legal ways. And so I believe Brett Kavanaugh entered that, the Supreme Court justice, I believe he described himself as that way as well. What exactly does that mean, and how is that different from anyone else?
First of all, I understand the Constitution. I lecture on the Constitution. I understand the basic principle of the Constitution, that it is a great restraining device against excessive government power. We are a constitutional republic, Article 4, Section 4. We are not a democracy. The guy who wrote the Constitution, James Madison, said that democracy is the most vile form of government. So the Constitution itself is characterized by multiple checks and balances to restrain government power. What's happened is that the deep state and the Democrats and even some Republicans swear allegiance to it. Then they turn around and take the position that you got a constitution over here, but government's supposed to be a lollipop factory to create goods, to bribe people's votes. You know, whether it's Biden unconstitutionally trying to forgive student loans or Obama phones, you name it. But a constitutionalist understands that through the lens of the Constitution, government is to be limited. And we have to go in, and I mentioned this the other night, Brett, but this is part of this Administrative State Reduction Act I'll propose. We've got to take a meat cleaver to the administrative state. We've got over 400 agencies, 3 million employees. They make the law, Brett, because they go in. Congress has advocated its responsibility. Forbes did a study a few years back that for every, in fact, 2022, that for every law passed by Congress, there are 19 regulations passed by these administrative agencies. These regulations, in many cases, have the force and effect of law. They have the power to make the law. And so most of the laws that you and I face on the federal level are by unelected bureaucrats. The Congress must have the will to cut these agencies. And we must return rulemaking to the Congress. This is where you hear the phrase the imperial presidency. Congress has given these administrative agencies, mostly under the executive branch, the power to make law. And the Congress goes out and raises money and doesn't get the budget done by October, passes continuing resolutions, funds the likes of Jack Smith, and it's like giving a drunken sailor, more vodka to swill on, and then throw up in the morning. The Congress has advocated its responsibility. I feel very passionately about this. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but I think I did lay out part of the problem that we have to understand. So a constitutionalist, back to your question, understands limited government. And I can tell you, for every bill that I look at, propose, consider, I will vet it through the lens of the United States Constitution. Article 1, Section 8 sets forth the basic duties of the United States Congress. The post office, the Army, and the Navy, but there's no role for the Congress to have a Department of Education, for example. So the Department of Education must go. Every agency that is not constitutionally authorized must go. We have to take a meat cleaver to the government, and that will be my mantra to do the best I can to try to cut agencies if and when, by the grace of God, I get there to Washington.